Welcome in, folks. It is Monday Night Q&A. We glad that we have this time to get with you so we can all calm down about what's going on with the Chiefs. We're going to give it to you. We're going to give you the straight answers to your straight questions because just like this guy, I'm a little bit tired of what we've been dealing with. So we're just going to knock it all out and have a good time tonight. Welcome in. This is RGR Football. He's Dan Harms. I'm Ryan Tracy. This is what we do is answer your questions on Monday night. Daniel, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good, guys. Like I understand a lot of people are like frustrated and mad, but I feel better about the Chiefs after yesterday, which is hard to say. They're 0-2.
I tell you what, it's a tale of 2 days for me. I got to tell you, and I do feel like I find more positives on the upside today. So I'm going to take the money and run. Is the way that I'm feeling right now. Want to say thanks to everybody in here. A lot of our regulars. Steve's in, Brenda's in, Thundarius is here. Appreciate you. Yeah, Big Chief, it's not the greatest, but what are you going to do? One of our mods is in. Nice to see you, Cole. We have FLDB that I'm sure will be here later, as well as Gary. We have a ton of questions, so we are not going to hold off too very long because, good Lord, I'm going to fall behind like I always do. So let's start with the Oxodal. Right now, this is what we do. Every Super Chat gets an answer no matter what, and we'll answer all your other topics. Dan, I will read this, and I will leave you alone to answer it in your calm and still manner, which you are already exuding. This is still a great team, and we'll go deep in the playoffs. What we are experiencing is seasonal drama. Yes, changes on offense need to get done. How do you take this? Are you as like zen as Axotl is?
Possibly. There's still a lot of things about this team that I would love to change, that I have been asking for them to change for quite some time. But success typically breeds complacency. And I do believe that the Chiefs believed that they could get away with some of the things that they didn't want to put investment into. And one of those things being a running back that we have seen be really, really bad this season already. Another one was Zadarius Smith on the couch, who ended up giving the Eagles 4 defensive stops on his 4 tackles, who could have helped your defense. Day one could have come in day one. So there are definitely some things that I would have changed. I'm trying to be more optimistic about what the offense is going to look like. The simple fact that the defense looked elite yesterday, I'll tell you right, it looked elite. It held the Eagles to like 3.27 yards per play, which is the lowest since 2020, guys. It hasn't been that low since 2020. That is an impressive thing to see. So there is definitely something there with the defense, just from a totality standpoint. The pass rush is what it is. There are some things that we'd have to get to, but I'm not entirely sold yet that they are going to go deep into the playoffs. They got to do a little bit more proving with the offense when everyone gets healthy and chemistry-wise to show me that. But I still believe this team can not only make it, but they can go deep. Yeah, I still think that.
Yeah, I think that's personally it's 2 phases. It's get to the playoffs, and then it's all holds barred. Like you can do whatever you need to do, and I do think so long as they can survive this monotony of underplaying their hand every week, like we've seen them do for years, and they get to the playoffs, they're going to be fine. I think the run is still there, and Oxodal, I appreciate you having that optimism here. Mike, are there any running back trade targets you could see happening for the Chiefs? Right now, I'm drawing a blank. Do you think there's anything realistic?
I don't know if there's anything realistic, because I know everyone's pointing to Breece Hall if the Jets continue to have a bad year. The problem is he's got no vision either. He's just a very elusive player. So yes, he might give you a little bit more juice, but he's going to miss the same holes that Isaiah Pacheco misses on a regular basis. I don't know if they're going to want to trade for him also, because then they'd have to extend Breece Hall as well, which you're trying to avoid, which is kind of the reason the Chiefs went for a 7th round pick on a running back instead of trying to maybe get somebody earlier this offseason. But at this point, I don't believe that they're going to be trying to trade for any running back, because they have not actually given the ball to their most explosive running back. He's gotten the ball 1 time. So before they even attempt that experiment this year, I think that's a little putting the carriage before the horse, as they say.
He is a rookie. They're notoriously slow about rookies at the running back position. They're going to get there because honestly, they need some pop. They need some juice to come in. Micah's got another one. I'm gonna let you take that because I forgot my other laptop.
There's always Micah's in here all the time, and we appreciate all the questions. If cleared to play this year, when are you at the point? Should the Chiefs sign? I believe he corrected himself. Should they sign Christian Wilkins? That's the big question here is, can he get everything figured out? Because I think what the Chiefs don't want to do is bring in someone who will have questionable character in the locker room. So was everything that was brought up by the Raiders real? Was it fake? Did the Chiefs have any way of knowing that for sure? No, they don't, unless they have an honest conversation with said player, and no one actually can confirm anything that happened in the locker room there. So that's the only way I see that actually happening. But at the point in which he gets cleared, I would imagine you'd have to have a sit down conversation almost immediately, because he would drastically improve the defensive tackle room that you kind of need right now.
Yeah. And the question for me becomes, can you take a little more risk with the locker room, knowing that Chris Jones is there?
Yeah.
If you were going to have a stronger personality at any position group that could maybe take on some risk in terms of another personality, it'd be someone as strong as Chris Jones. So, like, I think there's a little bit more wiggle room there. But the bottom line is, it's a foot fracture. If he actually recovers, can play, okay, then it's on the table. But I had 3 people asking me today, and I did a little bit of digging last night. I can't find anything on him actually working out. So he's not one of those players that's out there on social saying, hey, look, I can play. This is what I'm doing. This is my training routine. And that makes me a little nervous, because without 100%, this guy can come in and play like he plays. It's not worth it. And I don't think that they'll make a move until that point. So let's cross our fingers that they eventually have an option. Knock on wood, I want to say thank you to everybody who's been here. I know there's football games going on, so it's nice to see you. We have a ton of questions, and we're going to keep plowing through here. But as we take this first little second here, meltdown or turning point, just the way you feel today, is this evidence that everything is falling apart, or is this they got real close against the guys who just beat them for a championship, and now they can turn this and turn it up?
There was a lot more good on that tape than there was from the Chargers tape. Like, the offense looked better at the end, but that's because I think it's more about the Chargers defense not having enough talent to really stop the Chiefs. And really, Patrick did a lot with his legs, much like he did in this game. But I think that there was a lot of, like I said, a lot of good stuff from the defense. And I'm going to do a breakdown of the Chiefs run game. Why is the word stale being thrown around? Because it is. It's the same stuff we've seen for 5, 6, 7 years, and we're going to break it all down, and we're going to try to showcase what they're actually doing. But I think that this is a turning point for the Chiefs myself, and hopefully they can get everything going, because that's what this team really needs right now, is a little bit of juice.
Yeah, I agree. And for me, I think this is a turning point. Juice for certain, but also stop shooting yourself in the foot. That's the big thing. And I agree with you. I haven't watched all the film yet, but I did get a look at some of it. And it is very clear to me what they were not prepared for in week 1. They sort of got at least on track. Is it all sorted out? No. But that was night and day. Like, it makes me even more pissed off about week 1 when you're the only thing going on national television against a division rival, and you come out that flat. Like, that's now even more of a crime in my mind. But I have plenty of stats here. We're going to talk about the big explosion. I think it's a turning point as well. And we are going to have a good time tonight. I hope you guys are joining slowly here as we trickle in. You okay?
I need your opinion, because I don't understand where this is coming from. Do you believe that Kingsley is just bad?
No, I don't. I think he was overwhelmed. We'll dip this in the bud right now. We're going to lean in. This is what I like to do. We're just going to lean in. It's fine. Don't be alarmed. This space coming at you. That might be arguably the best defensive tackle tandem in the league. They are certainly the most aggressive as a pair. There's a reason Georgia has natty rings on their fingers, and those 2 guys are the reasons. Yeah. So for Kingsley to jump into that fire and not give up more than he did, I feel like, okay, he's starting to get it. By the time this gets around to the bye week, to week 12, like, I think he's going to have it mostly sorted out. I think they might get a rematch with these guys, and I think he'll perform better.
I don't get what's happening here. if you're trying to compare him to Joe Tooney, you're doing yourself a disservice in the entire process. I think that's the big thing here, is you're trying to compare him to what we've seen to Joe Tooney, who's an all-pro, most likely Hall of Fame guard. You're doing yourself a disservice if you're trying to compare the two players. Kingsley is a rookie. We have 3 full games now of him playing guard. He has played above average, in my opinion, in all 3 games. So if you want players to develop, if you want talented players to get the hang of what's going on, allow them time. We all butchered the Chiefs coaching staff last year for benching him after 2 games and not allowing him to develop. And now you're doing the same thing, but calling for a player's job who's really, really talented, still 22 years old. Let's not forget about that. And there's a long way to go for development. And he's still playing relatively well next to somebody he's never played next to in a position he's never really played. So I want everybody to just take a step back, understand that development happens for everyone in a different pace. But in order for that development to happen, you have to let it breathe. Let the player breathe.
I think you nailed it. And I only chuckle because I think it's only exacerbating this concept because he's playing next to Josh Simmons, who just put up the best pass blocking grade anybody's had on this roster for the last handful of half a season at least as a rookie. Kingsley's not as good as him. He's not going to be at left tackle, but to play next to him in that disparaging difference there, I think it's kind of exacerbating this. And making it a little bit worse. I think he's going to come around. I think it's a solid start to play against those 2 guys and come away with 4 pressures. And would you put the sack on him? Okay, fine. Did he lose early again? Yes. Zach Bond's been doing that to a number of guys, I got to tell you.
And again, that was different. That is something they never saw the entire first half. They came out in the second half and did it twice with Jahad Campbell and then with him. So it was something they had never seen. So there's always room for this wiggle room, guys. There's got to be wiggle room.
And I think he's off to a good start. If he fails to progress at this point, then I could start looking at that. But he's made progress just in one game to game 2. He's made progress. And so I come away still encouraged. Is he as good as Simmons? No. Okay. Simmons is a freak. And
just go watch him chase down Andrew Makuba. That's something players don't do at his size. They just don't do it.
Holy hell. I just want to see him running forward, not backward. And then we're going to be in business. I
apologize for the tangent, but we got to get questions answered. Like, we got 30 questions tonight and we are already 13 minutes in.
All right. We also got to pay the bills a little bit. So I do want to say, you guys, check these dudes out. It's a different way to get in the game, and it's man-to-man. It's not against the Profit X, America's #1 sports prediction market, is a peer-to-peer sports prediction market where users play against each other instead of a sports book versus the house. You will almost always get the best price on any spread, money line, total, or player prop since you're playing against other people rather than the book. Profit X offers sweepstakes-based dual currency system, either profit points or profit cash, and operates across 40 states. Use the promo code RGR and claim up to $200 in profit cash on all plays for the first 30 days playing on the site. ProfitX gives you the best lines in the space, and you can even set your own odds on specific wagers on your players, all at ProfitX. Go there and use the code RGR. Terms and conditions apply. And they always do. Okay, back to the questions, and I will shut up. Go.
Bradley. So I wanted to say what happened yesterday, and it seems like you guys came off as you're doubting this team. Interesting. I thought I was pretty the opposite way in that game. And I had nothing wrong with you. Analyzing the Chiefs screw up, and I still believe in them. Yeah, I think that's what we should be doing, right? Analyzing what happened and coming away with our own opinions. If you still believe in them, I think most of us do. Yeah, that's how it should go.
I still believe in them too. I'm just calling out that they're closer to the edge than they have been in the last couple of seasons. So
agree.
They got to get this figured. All right. You go ahead because you're quicker at this than I am. I'm
Chess Master. Appreciate you being here. Thank you for your question. How is Leo as a true pass rusher? Could that help us in any way? And should he be utilized differently to impact the game more, a la TJ Watt? 0% chance that should ever happen, in my opinion. He's best in the A gap. He is not a pass rusher. One, because he's never developed as a pass rusher. He's never been used that way. Every now and then you might be able to get him off the edge as like a wide 9, just purely based off of speed to power. but I don't think you want him actually lining up as a defensive end and trying to rush the passer.
Yeah, I agree. And especially when he's used correctly, he can be effective. He had, what, 16% win percentage.
Yep.
When you use him the way that he's good at. Lining him up wide, I don't think is going to be the answer.
I'm with you. One of our members, thank you for being here, Steve. With good position versatility, why are Malik Herring and Norzad always stuck on the inactive list? Do you want to take a crack at this?
Well, Norzad, unfortunately, is behind some very good players. Even if you doubt Kingsley, he is way more athletic and fits this offense better than Norzad is. Norzad's really going to be a backup center, not really as much a guard. Yes, he has swing capability, but that's really his spot. Herring is a bit of a tweener is the problem. He's not heavy enough to line up and take on doubles like Noddy can or Mike Pinnell could. I still am pissed off about Mike Pinnell, by the way. Although, there you go, Joe Cool. Bye-bye. That said, he can't really come off the edge like he's a screamer either. He is Spag's kind of base DN that is strong enough to hold the point and is decent enough to push the pocket, but he's not going to be uber explosive in any way.
It's just the unfortunate part about playing the position that he plays, where he's basically a 3-4 defensive end being drafted by the Chiefs, so he's out of position all the time.
Yeah, much like Uche, who is a 3-4 outside linebacker, who now is doing good things for other people.
Yep. It's fun. We're having fun. Micah, another one for me. 90% of the media I watched and listened to today said the tush push will be banned next offseason based on all the false starts by the guards and the centers and the refs. I can't see. Do you guys agree? All right. So there's going to be a lot of talk about the tush push. I have no problem with the tush push. I got none. I just wanted to officiate it properly. That's it. I wanted to officiate it properly, but I have no problem with the play itself. If we get it to a point where guys are lining up behind the football, which they were not yesterday, by the way, and the line of scrimmage is not moved all over the place, so defensive linemen look like they're offsides and offensive linemen are jumping, and just get the play right, and I'm fine with it.
Yeah. The Chiefs stopped it once, and honestly, if you count what should have been called for penalties, they've stopped it 4 times. There's nothing wrong with the play. The Eagles ran it correctly like half the time. It's just the other half that they got the benefit of the doubt that they didn't have to run it right.
Yeah.
Once you do that, if Chris Jones can be offside because of the placement of the ball, so can the offensive linemen, and they are all the time. So get it right, and it's okay. Why is Pat not more accurate or accurate anymore? Ball is either high or low, no touch. It seems like he's rattled along with poor footwork. His mechanics have caught up with him, and now it's noticeable. I'm going to take this on the nose before Dan. It has nothing to do with mechanics. His mechanics has not changed. He's been all over the place in Ben Gumby since day one. It's the fact that he is trying to do too much. He's rushing little things. He's getting excited when a guy actually gets open because, holy cow, I actually have a target that has clearance. I think it's all in perception. I think maybe he's rushing his arm swing a little bit, but I don't think it has anything to do with his feet or his mechanics.
I've seen some of the feet stuff. I see some of the feet stuff where he's like galloping back in his. It's not a. If you watch Dak Prescott, Matt Stafford, these guys are clean footwork operated. Boom, boom, boom. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not a gallop. Patrick tends to gallop sometimes or be a little lazy in his approach. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but the second play of the game, he's got no gray wide open. He has to layer this throw, okay? In between 2 defenders, you got enough space to do it. But he gallops back, he gets to his back, and then he has to rush the footwork forward. So he has to not only take a step forward to throw into it and out, right? Because you have to aim to where you're throwing the football. Now you have to speed the whole process up. So there is some of it, in my opinion, that has to do with the footwork, but this is how Patrick has always been. It's worked in the past, but right now it's not, because there's just so much pressure on him to see guy open. I have to make this throw, and microcosm, he ends up overthrowing it.
We've seen Patrick do this before in years past, right? Where he's just terribly inaccurate or makes bad decisions. In years past, it's led to turnovers. So it's not as bad as it has been, but it's not cleaning itself up. It is Patrick and his normal variability by my estimation. For us, the Chiefs are sure 0-2. It's not fun, but I'll admit by the end of the day, we got a lot of season to go, and I still think up for grabs in the AFC West for us, and that it's not that strong. And not that strong in my opinion. I actually think it is. I think 3 teams from the West make the playoffs, to tell you the truth.
It's a lot better than I think people, myself included, expected. We'll see how the Raiders continue to fare. But
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the Broncos are worse than we thought. It's possible. But I think the Chargers are a lot better than I expected them to be. But again, after one game from them, 2 games from the Broncos, there's a lot to figure out about this AFC West still.
Yeah, I agree. Would there be any interest in Dameon Pierce from the Texans in a trade? Honestly, until yesterday, I thought probably not because he's a lot of the same. But even Kareem, like as hard as he was running, he was getting some first downs. I do think there's more oomph there than he has. And I think Pierce actually can survive contact better than Pacheco can.
I mean, I don't see why not. The big problem for me is that he's more of a power gap scheme fit. The Texans have tried to force him into a lot of zone looks. That was the big problem with Bobby Slowick to begin with. They were trying to force Dameon Pierce to run all these, and he couldn't find the holes. That was a problem for him. That wasn't really his game. He's a follow blocks kind of guy, and once he gets into space is where he's best. But he adds more juice to the running back position. So I mean, if you can figure it out, I don't have an issue with it.
Yeah, it just depends what you got to give up. If it's a low third, okay,
Yeah.
fine. If you got to do it, you got to do it.
You wouldn't even have to worry about that. It would probably be like a 5th or a 6th.
Yeah, I agree. FLB, if we are missing Kafka, 100%, ever since he left, Patrick Footer has gotten worse and worse, despite him saying he needs to fix it. What does it take for him to actually fix it? It's time where he doesn't have to worry about everything else during the week, and it's not like his preseason prep or anything like that. It's that he has to scheme and understand even more time in the room, more time in the film room, so that he can deal with all this other crap. I actually think it's a little counterproductive because I think he heard some footsteps that weren't really there yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So
I agree with that.
Yeah. Okay. And Frank, thank you for all the years being one of our members and being one of our admins. I don't think Kafka's necessarily the answer. I think that staff just had it and they were gelling a little bit better than this staff is. And I don't know what it is. People who want to fire Nagy, I get where you're coming from in terms of it was coincidentally the same time. I don't know that it's a causation, but it's not fixing it either.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure again what's the disconnect, but there's one consistent since they have had Matt Nagy back. It's that they've been losing their number 1 wide receiver every single year. For one reason or another, they have not had the full array of weapons for Patrick Mahomes, and the run game hasn't been good. Like, it hasn't been good at all. So just there's a lot of stuff you have to figure out before you start to actually work on the little things, or the little things become less of a problem for Patrick, who's always been able to hit throws with the funky footwork. He's been fine for the most part with that.
Bradley also thinks they can go 4-2. Call you crazy. I won't. It's a possibility. That's how much I believe in the team and the mentality and the culture. I won't say you're wrong. They got to get this sorted. Playing this team this close, that if you don't, and it's funny, and I said this on Lockdown On, I'm going to say it again to you, Dan. You remember when we have to go through the fundamentals like 7 years ago when they were still trying to sort out with Patrick, right? Yeah. And it was like the basics. Don't lose the turnover battle and you'll win a ball game. Well, guess what? If they had not given away that ball one time, they win that ball game. A 14-point swing right there. It's not close. This team is right on the edge of getting it sorted out enough to win ball games.
The first play of the game, there was a fumble that didn't bounce their way. Like, this right now is what's happening. The turnover luck, it doesn't happen. This Chiefs team does not turn the ball over on defense very much. It never really has. At least in the last 3 or 4 years, it's been very prone to just hopefully you get one bounce your way, but it doesn't really bounce their way at all. So you have to just not turn the ball over on offense.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. Swag said, I don't think we'll make it to week 6. I see us being 1-5. I don't trust the offense. We can't score more than 20. I don't think we can hold on until week 6. I don't think we have a choice, and I disagree with you. I think they end up 3-3-ish, something like that. And honestly, even if they went 1-5, if they can sort it out that point where she comes back, it's a whole new ballgame.
Oh boy, 1-5 would be the end times for Twitter and a lot of people. It would cause a lot of problems. I don't believe 1-5 is in the cards. I don't physically believe that this team has a 1-5 start to a season in them. And I very hope to not be proven wrong. Swag boy, I understand not trusting the offense, but I do think that Xavier Worthy is going to play next week, which will help. at least a little bit.
I just hope they don't rush it. I don't want it to be artificial. But
I agree.
Swag, if you're right, that means they lost to one of the New York Giants or the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I can't see either of those things happening. So
Me either.
it better not, or else
Also,
I'll be eating this hat.
we got a new guy, first time.
Hey.
What's going on, Jeremiah? Nice to see you. Welcome in. This is RGR Football. We'll tell you how it is, whether you like it or not. That's just kind of how we roll.
Yeah, sucks sometimes, but hey, welcome in, Jeremiah. Was this the one you were looking for?
Yeah.
Seeing more scene plays down the field in Chiefs offense, they need to create more plays, run plays better, and use Brashard Smith. Need to get that speed. Speed, I will not argue with you.
It feels like they're trying to hide him. They used him so much in the preseason, and they've barely used him in the regular season. That's usually a telltale sign of a team that's trying to hold something back. But right now, you are 0-2. Okay, I understand what you're trying to do and maybe hold it back. It can no longer be held back. We got to see something from Brashard Smith. We have to see more. And they tried, honestly, with Tyquan Thornton. They've got him downfield multiple times.
Yeah,
they haven't connected very much.
It's coming.
But he's been there. It's coming along.
I think it's improved. I think it will improve. I think it's starting to get that. They need a certain volume before I think it's going to work better.
I'm with you. I'm with you there.
You don't like that answer, though?
No, it's fine. I'm good with it. It's not. Trust me, it's nothing to do with that.
Okay. Do you believe that this team will get back together, win the division, get in the AFC Championship again? I say yes and yes.
I absolutely think that they can. Again, I got to see what this team looks like, what they answer back with. Like right now on Sunday Night Football against the New York Giants, how are you going to respond to going 0-2? How are you going to respond? Once I see that, I'll have a lot more confidence. I think that they can, sure, but this is a different team. It looks different. It feels a little bit different. You got Chris Jones, John at Jalen Hurts that they didn't even get 100 yards right after they lose a football game or right before they lose a football game. That rubbed me the wrong way. Like some things are not going the same way that they should. So I need to see something a little bit more.
Yeah, I got you. And to your Smith thing, I had to double check it. He got one attempt. I know it might sound crazy, it might be off. Should we trade for a tight end and have Kelsey come in only situational plays? Is there a tight end worthy of a trade? There isn't. Let Kyle Pitts become a free agent, see what happens. I got to tell you, it's not a problem replacing Kelsey. They went to 13 personnel 4 times yesterday. That's it. And they didn't look at Tanya. The biggest play that Travis had was likely, you can argue with me, but at least one of the top 2 was that under drag that he ran. Mm-hmm. That is exactly what Tanya's been ripping it up all preseason for. They just, I think, are not ready to do it. They didn't game plan for it, and they went back to 11 because they're comfortable. And I think they need to get uncomfortable.
I think that they had more 12. They definitely used more 12 personnel, but they weren't good out of 13. They were bad out of 13. Those plays were not good. They didn't, again, maybe it's because they didn't practice it, but all I know is that when they went into 13 personnel, they got blown up because they couldn't block. They could not block. Gray couldn't block. Tanyan couldn't block these guys, and we know there is a play that I'm going to show you guys on Wednesday that you're probably going to lose your minds because I almost lost my mind watching it. It was very disconnected from the Chiefs and their multiple tight end sets. So that's why we saw at the end of the game more 11 because they felt like they could do more with it.
Well, I think they need to practice it more because you're right. It wasn't stellar. But it was positive 2 yards, positive 5 yards, positive 7 yards, and positive 3 yards. There was no TFLs. There's no sacks given up out of that formation. Use the damn thing. Practice it, Andy, for the love of God. You have resources. Use them. I don't know. It takes practice time. David, Mahomes overcorrect from 2021 interception issues. Let it fly. Sometimes I agree with you, but it's not going to the same guys, and I don't think you can have the same confidence as instantly.
He's definitely letting it fly a little bit more, though. Like, he is doing it. He just had missed a couple of throws, like we seemingly see every single week. It's frustrating, but the fact that the mentality is there is a good thing. I still think it's a good thing, and regardless of the misses, they have connected on a couple of deep throws multiple times now. Week 1, week 2. Obviously, he kind of underthrew Thornton on the deep ball touchdown, but Thornton made a good play, and that's encouraging. When he's not being guarded by number 1 and number 2 corners anymore, we're talking about a very big possibility that he's wide open more often. They got him wide open on the same concept twice, guys. Let's not forget, against the Eagles defense, they got him wide open twice. They can do it. It's about hitting it now.
He is absolutely physically capable. And I just want to run these down real quick. These are the differences. Plays of 10 yards plus, Chiefs 12, Eagles 5. Plays of 20 yards plus, Chiefs 4, Eagles 1. Rushes of 10 plus, Chiefs 4, Eagles 3. They even outrushed them for chunk plays. It's there. You just got to be more consistent with it. And the fact that they keep pushing it, I think is a sign of more to come. When you get Rasheed back and when you get Xavier back, those deep pushes that you got, you sent it 12 times, you got 4+ plays out of it, 4 receptions. Those are going to convert at 50%. You're going to get twice as much out of it, maybe 3 times. You could get to 0.75% with those guys being the ones that are catching it. They are willing to do the work, and I know a lot of you guys do the work. We have another pal that's going to help you out. It's Brunt. Have other boot brands that you experience taking a long time to break in? Choosing work boots used to mean sacrificing comfort or durability. And if they're good, they didn't last. And if they lasted, they wrecked your feet. Brunt thought that was all BS, so they built boots tough and give you a great feel from day one. No break-in, no sore feet, because people out there doing the real work shouldn't have to choose between comfort and durability. I wear these because they just get things done. You can see in their quality across the board that comfort is part of it, but so is all the toughness that you're looking for. Brunt was tired of workwear brands out there cutting corners. You work too hard to get stuck in uncomfortable boots that don't hold up. So they built something better, boots that are insanely comfortable for any job site right now. For a limited time, our listeners get $10 off of Brunt when you use the code RGR at checkout. Just head to bruntworkwear.com and use the code RGR and you're good to go. And after you order, they'll ask you where you heard about Brunt. Do us a favor and tell them that it was from RGR. Now, I'm always about working, and Veach has to put the work in too. Alex brings it up, and Alex, thank you for 3 years in our memberships. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Alex.
Given what we know about him, do you think he pulls the trigger on a big trade or panics?
No, I don't think he's going to do that. And not just because, like, specifically right now, because when you do that after an 0-2 start, you are signaling to your team that you believed in and that you have believed in that it is time to panic. And that's what he doesn't want to do right now. You want to get back on track first. You want to see what everything looks like, right? You want to get them winning, win a football game, win 2 games, and then start to see what they really need. I still think pass rush, running back is up there. But right now, a big splash trade says that we don't believe that this team can get back on track without it. So I think that they are going to wait until the trade deadline, try to get the confidence of the team back before they actually make a trade.
Yeah. It ruins your plan if you don't trust your plan yourself, and it takes away from their faith in you as well. So it's a good point. Thank you, Alex. Good to see you. Joe, do you think the Chiefs put much practice time in the running game and run blocking or practice, or mainly just passing? It's mostly passing, especially as Andy gets older, the practices get lighter during the season. There's not as many pad days. I don't think, from what I heard, the last 2 seasons, they haven't even used all of their pads days during the season. So I don't think you get good quality practice at run, and I don't think they're going to change it, to be quite honest.
If you don't practice the run, you're not going to be good at it, and the Chiefs don't.
And there you are. Minotaur, thank you for the support and all of your support all the time. Giving out memberships, being a member, being here, super chats. We appreciate you. How about ONL and the massive first career sack yesterday? Yeah, he had it with some flair, and I like the way they went about things. That was a team sack. They had great coverage, and that's what allowed everybody to push it so that when he was ready and he got flushed, ONL was there. I thought it was a big feather in his cap to like actually put some emphasis on it. It wasn't like he stumbled into it.
No, you saw him. He had to stop, right? Because Jalen Hurts wants to make a guy miss, and he moved with him, right? It was he's moving to his right, and then he catches him with the arm, and you see the impact that he can bring when he hits somebody. So, again, I still think he should be playing a little bit lighter than the Chiefs have had him, but continue to work with what you got with the ankle stuff. You don't want to do too much, but he is somebody that they desperately need to get more reps and to get more playing time and to just bring, again, more juice to the defensive line, because Gelati is going to give you a lot of effort. He's not going to give you a ton of immediate juice into the middle of a defense. Like, that's not where he's going to be best. If you can get anything like that out of Omar Norman Lott, it's a huge boost for the pass rush, which is just not good.
Yeah, Gelati needs to be on the edge. He's playing with that elbow brace. He wasn't as effective yesterday as he was week 1 before he strained it or whatever it was. So he's got to be put in a position to help as well, which we'll see what happens. And evidently Dan didn't like that.
Oh, not you. I'm just seeing some stuff.
Oh, okay. We can jump to it. You just take over if you need to.
No,
does it feel like okay? Ruthless, thank you, buddy. It's a year in the memberships. Appreciate you. Is it me, or does it feel like Veach is going to overcorrect the defensive line in the offseason and still leave the running back room at the back of his mind and have scraps in the room next year? Yes, you're absolutely right. And it's not just Veach, it's Andy too.
Well, it doesn't. You can't even correct the defensive line because this is how Spags wants it built. This is exactly what Spags wants. Like this, there is no correcting it. You might try to get somebody who's not Charles Omenihu, Mike Dana. It's going to be in the same vein as an Ashton Gelati or a Charles Omenihu, Mike Dana, or George Karlaftis. This is not going to schematically drastically change. It's not. And if it does, Joe Cullen has more power behind after this season than he's ever had before. I will say that right now, because Spags wants it this way. And if we see somebody drafted or brought in that is more of a bendy, athletic player off the edge, that is more speed to power, they can actually do some work on that, it's got to be because Joe Cullen is sick and tired of what's going on.
Yeah. I took Ruthless's comment as overcorrect in terms of volume at defensive tackle in particular. And I do think that is something that we'll see them kind of go hog wild on D linemen just to try to bolster up that body and leave the running backs last in line. But I just,
as usual. Yeah.
Knicks fan, nice to see you. Not bad about too much, but Travis needs to get it together. That interception was definitely on him. It absolutely was. Although Patrick made it a little bit tougher than he had to. It's just weird to see the two of them get to that point. I don't know. I didn't feel like the defense was all over him. I think that was a concentration thing with Kels. And I know he was working on being a leader and being fired up. And maybe got himself a little too excited, because I thought he looked sloppy at times on some of the finer details that he usually has on lock. I'm
with you. Just again, I think he's under a lot of pressure too. I'm not excusing dropping that football. I'm not excusing some of the stuff that I've seen on tape, but there is a lot of pressure under Travis Kelce, a 36-year-old Travis Kelce, who's not the player he used to be.
Agreed. Cody loved it. He's still not understanding why the crew can't see anything, and I am totally with you there. Hanneman, he was asking about Kingsley as well. I still think we're both on the upswing there. Cole, do you think the team struggles in the first two games are attributed to being thin at wide receiver? I absolutely do, because their panic when Xavier went out really shows me what they had been planning. So I think that carries over. No trees. What players do you think need to be traded to get younger guys to move time onto the field? I don't know that you can trade anyone away right now and not play worse. Is there anyone that you're looking to get on the field?
I mean, I think the rookies. I think we heard Andy say that Noah Williams has earned a bit more, as well as Omar Norman Lott. Those guys are going to get more reps. But what's Jerry Tillery doing for this team? Can you tell me what he's doing for this team? Nothing. He's not doing anything. So I know everyone was excited about the possibility that he was going to be able to do something in the pass rush, and he's done absolutely nothing. Charles Omenihu has pretty much done nothing. Unfortunately, Mike Dana, he's hurt, but he wasn't doing much to begin with. There are players that right now are good role players, but when you have to start a Mike Dana or a Jerry Tillery at some point, that's where you're seeing the holes and the chinks in the armor, because those are role players, but they're having them do too much.
Wow, I didn't realize this. When you look at pass rush, Jerry Tillery got 3 pass rush snaps. That's it.
So he's playing more against the run.
He did get a pressure out of those 3 opportunities. Let the guy do what he does well. Don't ask him to defend the run. He ain't no good at it. I'm sorry. This is what Mike Pennell was for, Veach. For the love of God. Over. Definitely need to stop missing wide open receivers. Yeah. Knicks fan, if the Stars just do what they need to do, they would have had that game. So I'm 100% with you. And thanks for your support like you always do, bud. Thanks for all you guys do. Appreciate you. I can't handle the mainstream media garbage. Oh, and Dan can't wait for Saturday. Go Huskers. Way to go, Mike Renner or Mike R. Sorry.
I appreciate that. It's going to be a lot of fun. I don't think that Nebraska stands a chance, but that's just because I'm a Homer Michigan fan, and I love that. So
my wife is with
you.
Mike. I'm just going to tell you.
Yeah, of course. Yes, I know she's a big Nebraska fan. And that's why I try and stay out of the mainstream media. I stopped watching ESPN about 2 years ago now. One thing that I found out, once you start learning more about the game of football, that stuff is undigestible. You can't watch it. So as much as we try to help teach you guys learn more about the game, that's what the film rooms are for, that's what these conversations are for. There's obviously more that we're learning, but do yourselves a favor and stop watching those shows. None of them know what they're talking about. And even the ones that do are forced to say things they don't even believe just to get clicks online. Just don't watch it.
Agreed. Go ahead. I'm going to take out some of these spammers here.
Yeah, no problem. I got you. Appreciate you, Mike. We got a 20 super chat here from Kyle Peterson, one of our members. Thank you so very much. I'm not nervous. The defense did enough. The dink and dunk offense started to work. I have an interesting thing about that as well. And if not for a lucky bounce, they score and go ahead. Probably win the football game. The deep ball is still there. I think the guys are open, but I so far agree with that. When we get top 2 wide receivers back, they'll be fine. Yeah. Why panic? I mean, I think we all typically agree with the sentiment, right? I don't think there's any reason to currently panic. It is a weird thing to see the Chiefs in this situation. They're 0-2. They've lost 3 straight football games if you go back to last year, which I think people do, but I don't do because that was last year. That's not this year. So they've lost 2 games to start the season, and they were in both of those games. Whether you want to be on the optimistic side of that or not, there was a point where they could have tied the football game against the Chargers 13-13, obviously missed extra point, whatever. And then there was an opportunity for them to take the lead against the Eagles. Details, okay? Details win football games. The Eagles did what the Chiefs did last year. They just were better in the big moments. Whether you believe in that or not, that's what they did. They were just better in those moments. They took advantage of what the referees were not calling, much like the Chiefs do. They do the same thing, okay? Everyone tries to get that one little edge up. So right now, it is doom and gloom because they're 0-2, but there was a lot of improvement from week 1 to week 2 from a holistic standpoint, and specifically the defense. If that defense continues to show up, they will be in every football game they play the rest of the season. I guarantee it.
Absolutely. And shooting yourself in the foot takes away from that. And to Kyle's point, David had a comment here. He was going to pack because 38 of 400 0-2 teams have made the playoffs. But I will tell you this, David, 0 of those teams have had Patrick Mahomes.
Quite literally.
So that's the rub.
Yeah.
History is history until you got the GOAT.
Black and gold. Another one of our members. Thank you for the 5, man. Is it the players or Reed's scheme that's the biggest issue with the run game? Offensive line isn't winning, but it can't be all on them. Mizzou, I assume. I'll give you a little bit of 1-2 on this before my film review on Wednesday. It's a lot to do with the same concepts that Andy Reid has been running for years. Also, one small detail is that there's a vast difference between play action and their actual run game. If you watch the linebackers, they do not trigger on most any play action plays because the mesh point doesn't exist. There's no mesh point for the most part. All they have to do is see Patrick not handing the football, or one of my favorites is when they're under center and Kareem Hunt is 5 yards away and there's 0 mesh point. There's none. There's absolutely none. There is a video on Twitter from Brandon Thorne showcasing Aaron Rodgers creating a real mesh point, and there's a backside edge player who goes with the running back because of how well Aaron Rodgers sold the fake. I don't like Aaron Rodgers. He's a terrible human being. However, that football play wins football games. Creating a mesh point is so vital to play action passes, but the Chiefs don't do it. And it's despicable play. It's so bad that you just don't care enough to do those little things. And it bothers me down to my core that they don't care. Okay? So, scheme-wise, there are details that they don't care about. And the run game itself is, in a word, stale. It's the same shit we've all been seeing.
Wait for Wednesday. He's going to lay it out there for Jeremiah. It will go to video for rewatch, so you will have access to it. And Dan, don't feel bad. The only person who cares about Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. So it's
fair. It's true.
It is. Drew, I appreciate you. You thought it was a turning point and that the Chiefs season turned around, and I appreciate your optimism. Thank you, pal. Daniel, nice to see you. I think we should trade for running back like Travis Etienne or Tyson Campbell as far as the D ends. The Jets, Michael Johnson, or Jags, Josh Allen, or Trayvon Walker, or Eric Armstead. None of those last four are going to be available until the offseason. Campbell, I'm up and down on Campbell. ATN, I could get behind. If there was a low-level trade that you didn't have to put a big investment in, I could try it.
If they didn't trade away Tank Bigsby, I would be okay. But they did, and Travis Etienne is the guy for the most part for them right now. He looks much better, but none of these guys are, unfortunately, realistic trades, Daniel. I'm sorry. They're just not.
Which, by the way, remember when we were both like giddy over Bashan Tuden?
Oh yeah, that guy. He's pretty good at football, right? Yeah. He's pretty good. It's fun. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
Not you. You wouldn't do that. Why were they not getting Noah Gray going in the game plan, or Tanyan? Why is Kelsey the only tight end catching balls, or with the injury or suspended? And I agree with you. This is what I was saying about Tanyan before. They got to start doing it. And Tanyan is more of a vertical in Kelsey's role type player than Noah is, in my opinion. But you got to spread it around. And if they're going to take away the receivers, you got to do something to get them to that point, whether it's 12 or 13 or just rotation more. I don't know what to do.
It's tough, right? And I think that they do try to get them running the football in some of those situations, but getting to 13 personnel, you have to be willing to have a guy like Jackson Hawes, who the Bills drafted, who is basically a functional offensive lineman, who will come in and actually get vertical displacement. None of the Chiefs tight ends can give you any of that right now. Not even Robert Tonyan, who's I would say the best blocker that they have. They barely use him. And because he's not an effective run blocker anymore. They don't have anybody. They just don't.
Yeah. And they're not understanding, or they would have fixed that. Buzzed, is it fair to say the coach is the reason that Pacheco hasn't developed? I mean, you could say that. You have a wide receiver coaching the running backs, but I think Pacheco is what Pacheco is. I don't think he had a ton of upside coming out, and I think he's been doing very well and probably outplayed my projection, if not yours, Dan. I don't remember what you thought of him pre-draft.
Pacheco outplayed everybody's projection of him because he's a 7th-round pick, and that's a bet you make. You hope something happens, and he played well and landed in a running back room where there was no juice. And he took it. That's what he did. He plays with the same reckless abandon that he's always played with. Unfortunately, the injuries have taken whatever burst that he actually has, and he's I'm getting ahead of myself. It's a problem. It's a problem. Okay. And unfortunately, when you don't have upside as a runner and you start to get hurt, the things that made you effective to begin with they just get worse, and there's no place to go.
Yeah, there's no upside there. Johnny, so when did we start blaming the coaches? Well, Dan and I started, in the offseason, but we were certainly not shy last night either. Yeah. The evolution and not putting players in position is part of it, but execution is a large part of it as well. We are splitting what we think needs to happen. Cole, not asking if we should pull the trigger and trade, but do you guys think that Tyreek is actually available? I do not. He supposedly said, trade me back to Kansas City. Too bad we wouldn't be able to pay him. No, they can't. And they won't get compensation. I don't think the Dolphins will pull the trigger at all.
No.
Why do we have so many tip passes? Also, is Kelsey a liability? He's making $19 million a year. Well, he's not a liability because he's making $19 million a year. That's actually solid for a guy who can actually change the game. But he's 36 years old. And I think he's got to be more real with himself about how he goes about doing things and making sure that all the T's are still crossed.
Yeah, you have to be more on your P's and Q's when you get a little bit older. You have to be in the right spots. I think ad-libbing is probably no longer really in the cards for Travis. In terms of some of the crazier stuff he used to do, I think staying on time. However, he has the jerk route where he catches and he goes like 23 yards against Cooper DeJean. So there's some wiggle room there. I think when he just naturally has that feel for space. I don't know what the answer is, guys. I don't know what it is because he makes really great plays every now and then, and sometimes he doesn't. So whether you're going to have to live with some of that or he's just going to have to get better in those spots, I don't know. But at the end of the day, I still think that Travis has good football in him, and he's still made really good plays to start the season. You know, he's got the touchdown. He should have another one there. He's made some really big plays for them already. So, to be honest, I don't know why they have so many tipped passes. It must just be easy to pick up on Patrick's throwing motion because, I mean, that also, let's be honest, Davis is a mountain of a man. Like he's what 6'7" nearly.
Oh,
He just Jordan Davis just does this and he can knock a pass out of the air. Like he's got gigantic hands too. So it has become a little bit more of a problem. I think that Patrick is also when the ball comes out quick, it's not usually any air put under it. He's throwing it to a spot. So when the ball gets tipped, it's because he's throwing the ball right here or right there. So it's a little bit easier, I think, to tip some of those passes. But if someone's jumping, you better punish them, offensive line.
Exactly.
Do your job. If someone jumps, you put them in the ground.
Here to just below the belt is where you hit that guy.
Exactly. I don't see enough of that for this Chiefs offensive line.
I agree with you completely. NFLDB Nightbot is still running, as I understand. So let me know if I need to do something. I'm a little concerned about that too because I should not spend that much time. Yeah, for some reason. Thank you, KB. Green, thank you. I told you guys last year their process was bad, but people excused it because they were winning. Well, hindsight's 2020. I'll give you that, but I will still say they have some blind spots. I won't say their entire process is bad. I can't agree with that.
And that's remember, I think that every single team in the NFL would give everything to be in the position the Chiefs have been over the past decade. Going to 5 Super Bowls, winning 3 of them. Yeah, I think the process might be a little bit bad, but you know what? When you win 3 Super Bowls, you're allowed to have a little bit of wiggle room with that. But again, we get to complain. That's what we get to do, right? We get to see both sides. We get to say, hey, it's great that they're winning, but also, why the hell are you doing that?
Right. Well, you're getting invited to a cookout, evidently, and I can come too. Well, thanks.
Well, I appreciate it, man. You know, I know that he didn't play. We kind of went back and forth saying, he probably won't play. Regardless, we appreciate it and thank you very much.
Yeah, I very much appreciate it. And hopefully, knock on wood, he'll play this week. I'm just concerned that they don't rush him back prematurely because if he plays, I just don't want to risk that re-injury thing. So let's see what happens. But thanks for the support, Green. Nice to see you. And cookout sounds good. I sure hope that the team turns it around. Moody, you are just laid it out there for the rest of us. Exactly. Could not agree more. And that's probably the nicest way to say it, which you're doing better than me, pal. So well done.
Agree with you.
Old Paz, thank you. Wide receiver room looks like trash. Keep 8 wide receivers for what? Well, in case you had to go through this. So, yeah, they're 5 through 8 are not going to be able to take up the slack for Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice. That's just not, or they would be starters on another team. That's the truth. Running back room, not good by committee. Do you need to pick a running back and give them 15 to 20 carries to get them going? And he just doesn't do that. He doesn't want to dedicate that volume. I don't necessarily disagree with you, but I'd like to see them do that in practice first so you could actually run the ball on Sundays. That'd be great.
I mean, they did it just fine with Kareem Hunt last year when he came and they said, well, we have to give the football to him because we don't have another choice. So I think if your options are eliminated, Andy Reid will be like, fine, we'll do what we have to do. But at this point, when you have 3 running backs healthy on the roster, Andy's like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I agree. Andy's going to be Andy, unfortunately. Chiefs haven't wanted to run the ball since the Tampa clinic. Run the damn ball. I agree. And I'll make you a shirt, blessed. I've thought about it. I might as well just put it out there because more and more people are starting to come around. I've only been saying this for like 7 years, but now everybody seems to get it. Is it just me? I am sick to death of the finesse ball that the coaches teach. Finesse ball feels antiquated compared to the rest of the league. I agree. The pendulum, and I told you guys about this like 5 years ago. The pendulum is swinging back. They're running more. They're getting more physical again. And Andy's not getting with that swing yet. He's not forcing the players to. I think the players might on their own here pretty quick because they got to see something about. They played better against a physical team in the Eagles than they did against a team that is not as physical in the Chargers. I agree with you on ESPN, Dan. It sucks. Well,
Yeah,
Nick's
it's the
fan
worst.
is absolutely with you.
There's only like
Is there
2
any
good
free
people
agent,
on there.
right? Is there any free agent wide receiver the Chiefs could go out and get?
You can't. You just can't do this right now. Xavier is not on IR, and Rashee Rice will be back. And plus, we know how difficult it is for Andy Reid to implement players into his offense. You're not trying to overcomplicate the offense right now. You're trying to help simplify everything. The only way to do that is to keep the guys that have been in there through training camp, preseason, and now on the same track.
Yeah, I agree. Nick's fan, I hate that they put 2 Monday night games on. I agree with you. It bugs me.
I don't care about it, but push the games back. Just push them back. We got to stop this stuff. You want to put 2 games on Monday night? I'm good with that because I love football, but take 2 hours and push it back so we can watch the damn game.
Yeah. The first one kicked off before my kids were home from school. I mean, I can't even imagine what Cali's going through out there in California. We're going to end here
at 7 o'clock here. It started at 7 o'clock here. And the next one starts at 10 p.m. 10 p.m.
You are not meant to live on the East Coast. I'm pretty sure.
I am not.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
I need at least Central Time Zone back, possibly Mountain. I'll prefer Pacific Time Zone.
Oh, it's been a great night. You guys check out the sponsors. Thanks for putting up with this. Thank you to every super chatter. We're going to end with Tracy tonight as we're almost going to end on time. We appreciate you. Maybe you haven't talked about this. I heard today that they had a full labrum tear. Is that true? I don't want him to come back too soon, even though it would be nice. I have seen people say that on X. I haven't heard it from any reputable source yet. If it were a full labrum tear, I will tell you this, the joint would be very loose, and I don't think that they would allow him to return. That is generally the sign of a full surgical repair that would cost you the season. So my guess is that's not true. Could it be a grade 2 or 3 partial? That's a possibility, and everybody has a little bit of their own physiology that helps them, right? Like Clyde. If Clyde had a partial labrum tear, the size of his deltoids and the musculature around it would keep that joint more intact, that you could maybe take a little bit more of a risk than you can with a guy as skinny as Xavier. So I tend to doubt it, but we won't know until we know, Tracy. But thanks for bringing it up.
It's all you can do right now, because since Andy Reid is, again, I've said this multiple times, I will continue to say it, he is an NHL head coach when it comes to injuries. It's a lower body thing, it's an upper body thing, it's an arm thing. We're not going to give you any specific details because I don't have to, and no one's going to enforce it.
I love that. Folks, it's been a good night. It's going to be all right. They are going to get things sorted out. I actually believe that. Well, thank you for that, Tracy. That's nice to hear. Albert Breer said it. Okay. Well, he does have some connections. We're going to find out. He has been wrong quite a bit too.
With the Patriots, though, not the Chiefs. So,
yeah. All right. We will see what happens. And if there's any follow-up to that, we'll set it for you later in the week. Dan's got film. I've got something for you. We're going to move on, and we're going to get to the point where they can start attacking the next ball game. They took a step forward. I'm pretty happy with it. Dan, any last thoughts?
Just continue to watch what they're doing. Improvement week after week is the most important thing. It's what they strive for. As much as we hate it, they have stopped caring about September football to the point where they're actually losing football games now more than they used to win it. I remember those graphics where Patrick Mahomes has never lost in September, really, and now they lose every year in September. They care more about November, December, and beginning of January football, which can put a hindrance on what they're doing now. So it's frustrating to watch, and it sucks for the fan, the consumer, seeing them struggle and putting these together. but just try and watch for improvement. Okay. Last week, it was the defense. We saw them play very well against the Eagles. Against the Giants, defense, we'll get to that with the game plan, but there are things you can do. Okay. There's a lot to be had still. There's 15 games left in this NFL season. 15 games. Okay. So I just think we need to collectively remember that even if, right, this doesn't go the way that we want it to, watch for improvement. Wait until Xavier comes back. See how Rashee Rice plays. And maybe they need a reset. Maybe they need to lose more than 2 games to actually see what happens with this football team. Stay with it. Don't lose the faith in the football team regardless. Everything's going to be okay. I believe it regardless.
I 100% agree with you. Remember, folks, it is a Sunday night game. I am actually going to be on, most likely, 90%, I'm going to be on the East Coast as well. So I will be up late just like you did, and we will have a post game for you. It'll be a little bit different, but we're going to have a good time. Don't miss it. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Daniel, for all of your work. Have a great day tomorrow, and we'll talk to you.
Thanks for watching this video from the team at RGR Football. Click these videos to see more and subscribe to RGR Football.